All right, guys, I'm back. Article 2, Section 1 in the Constitution. Here we go. We've already read Part 1, Part 2. So now we're at Section 2 in Article 2. Okay, the Congress may determine the time of choosing. There's that choosing again. Chusing. The Congress may determine the time of choosing the electors and the day on which they shall give their votes, which day shall be the same throughout the United States. Can I just share with you guys? I want to tell you guys something. I'm hoping to make a video about this eventually. I'm witnessing a phenomenon that I never seen in my entire life. You guys know the plant, Leaf of Life. I talk about that in a couple other videos, right? The Leaf of Life is such an incredible plant that um, I'm watching this plant that was placed in a bowl with a paper towel, right? There's no water, no soil, no nothing in this bowl. One day I noticed there was these it looked like, I thought it was flour, like when you're baking and baking flour falls on the leaf, so you go to brush it off. Turns out there were these tentacles growing from the Leaf of Life plant. Now there's like a whole host of plants growing on air, you guys, on air. It's not planted in anything, no water, no soil, no nothing. It's just growing on its own. Can you imagine that? Anyways, one day I'll show it to you guys in another video. Anyway, so back to this. No person except a natural born citizen or citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of the Constitution shall be eligible to the office of president. Let me just read that again. No person except a natural born citizen or citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible for the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to the office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years and being 14 years a resident within the United States. In case of the removal of the president from office or of his death, resignation, or inability to discharge the powers and duties of the said office, the same shall devolve on the vice president, and the Congress may, by law, provide for the case of removal, death, resignation, or inability both of the president and the vice president, declaring what officer shall then act as president, and such officer shall not act accordingly. And such officer shall act accordingly until the disability be removed, or president shall be elected. The president shall, at stated times, receive. Going for 20 minutes, you guys. Receive. I've got like three or four more pages left. The president shall, at stated times, receive for his services a compensation which shall neither be increased nor diminished during the period for which he shall have been elected, and he shall not receive within the period any other emolument from the United States or any of them. Before he enter on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear for or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Then Section 2. The President shall be Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy of the United States. I didn't even know that part. And of the militia of the several states when called into the actual service of the United States. He may require the opinion in writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subject relating to the duties of their respective offices, and shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. He shall have power by and with the advice and consent of the Senate to make treaties, provided 2/3 of the senators present concur, and he shall nominate by and with the advice and consent of the Senate, shall appoint ambassadors, other public ministers and consuls, judges of the Supreme Court, and other officers of the United States, whose appointments are not herein otherwise provided for, and which shall be established by law. But the Congress may, by law, vest the appointment of such inferior officers as they think proper. In the present, in the president alone, in the courts of law, or in the heads of departments. The president shall have power to fill up all vacancies that may happen during the recess of the Senate by granting commissions which shall expire at the end of their next session. Section 3. He shall from time to time give to the Congress information to the state of the Union, and recommend to their consideration such measures as he shall judge necessary and expedient. He may, on extraordinary occasions, convene both houses, or either of them, and in case of disagreement between them with respect to the time of adjournment, he may adjourn them to such time as he shall think proper. He shall receive ambassadors and other public ministers. He shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed, and he shall commission all the officers of the United States. Section 4. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Article 3, Section 1. The judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court and in such inferior courts in Congress as the Congress may from time to time ordain and establish. The judges both of the Supreme and inferior courts shall hold their offices during good behavior, and shall at stated times receive for their services a compensation which shall not be diminished during their continuance in office. Section 2. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and the treaties made or which shall be made under their authority, to all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, to controversies to which the United States shall be a party, to controversies between two or more states, between a state and citizen of another state, between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state claiming land under grants of different states, and between a state or the citizens thereof and foreign state citizens or subjects. In all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, and those in which a state shall be party, the Supreme Court shall have original jurisdiction. In all the other cases before mentioned, the Supreme Court shall have appellate jurisdiction both as to law and fact, with such exceptions and under such regulation as the Congress shall make. The trial of all crimes, except in all cases impeachment, shall be by jury, and such trial shall be held in the state where the said crime shall have been committed. But when not committed within any state, the trial shall be at such place or places as the Congress may by law have directed. Section 3. Treason under the United States shall consist only in levying war against them, or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of two witnesses to the same overt act, or on confession in open court. The Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood. No attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood, or forfeiture except during the life of the person attainted. Okay, this must be Article 4. Section 1, full faith and credit. Section 1, full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state, and the Congress may by general laws prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved, and the effect thereof. Section 2, the citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in several states. A person charged in any state with treason, felony, or other crime, who shall flee from justice and be found in any other state, shall, on demand of the executive authority of the state from which he fled, be delivered up to be removed to the state having jurisdiction over of the crime. No person held to service of labor in one state under the laws thereof, escaping into another, shall, in consequences of any law or regulation therein, be discharged from such service or labor, but shall be delivered up on claim of the party to whom such service or labor may be due. Section 3. New states may be admitted by the Congress into the Union, but no state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state, nor any state be formed by the junction of two or more states or parts of the states without the consent of the legislatures of the states concerned, as well as the Congress. The Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory of other property belonging to the United States, and nothing in this Constitution shall be construed as to prejudice any claims of the United States or any particular state. Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. Article 5. Congress, whenever two-thirds, time is it now? 14 minutes in, I'm going to 20 minutes, you guys. The Congress, whenever two-thirds of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose shall propose amendments to the Constitution, or on the application of the legislatures of 2/3 of the several states, shall call a convention for proposing amendments, which in either case shall be valid to all intents and purposes as part of this Constitution, when ratified by the legislatures of 3/4 of the several states, or by convention in 3/4 thereof, as the one of the other mode of ratification may be proposed by the Congress, provided that no amendment which may be made prior to the year 1880 shall in any manner affect the first and fourth clauses in the ninth section of the first article, and that no state without its consent shall be deprived of its equal suffrage in the Senate. All right, here we go. Against the United States under the Constitution as under the Confederation. The Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, and anything in the constitution of laws or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding, the senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. Article 5. The ratification of the conventions of the 9 states shall be sufficient for the establishment of the Constitution between the states, so ratifying the same. Done. And it says done. Done in convention. Why is it written like that? Done is written in all capitals, D-O-N-E. Done in convention by the unanimous consent of the state. Was this part of it? Did they put this into? Okay. By the unanimous consent of the states present the 17th day of September in the year of our Lord, 1787, and of 87, 1787. Okay, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 12th, in witness whereof we have hereunto subscribed our names. And it looks like George Washington may have signed this, because it says G.O. Washington, President. I think it's George Washington, a deputy from Virginia. All right, amendments. The first 10 amendments were ratified December 15th, 1791, and form what is known as the Bill of Rights. All right, Amendment 1. Congress shall make, I am 18 minutes in? It's like it. Yeah. All right, 2 more minutes. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Amendment 3. No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. I'm reading the Constitution, people. Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized, signed by a lawful judge and or lawful clerk with date, stamp, and seal. And then you go back to the Clearfield Doctrine, 1942 Supreme Court case between the Clearfield Trust Company and the United States, and you'll notice there was a coup d'etat in 1861, and lo and behold, here we are today. Amendment 5. No person shall be held to answer for capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when the actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy or of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. And finally, Amendment 6 reads, I am up to my 20-minute mark. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. All right, you guys, like, share, subscribe. You guys can join us over here on the Nobel website. You can join our email group. I really recommend you guys do that one. Join our online tutor school class. You can visit us on the 2 YouTube channels, Nobel the second, also on BitChute, Nobel, and we have a few videos posted over there already. And you can email us for private email consultation. You can write to us for the 1099 OID and the GSA bonds and set-off matters such as child support cases, mortgages, foreclosures, auto loans, student loans, warrants, and for those of you having to see an agent, doing business as parole officer, as well as those of you in the churches doing business as jails for non-violent offenses, you can email us for the GSA bonds to set off matters as per what? The Constitution, you guys. And also the 1099 OID with the true bill, the 8281, 706, 211, 3949A, and a whole host of other forms to get back the finances they claimed you owed. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who are out there and supporting us, for sharing your research and great stuff with us here. We really greatly appreciate it. For those of you who wish to support us, you find these videos helpful, you can donate to us on PayPal at themullings@gmail.com. And we like to end here. Faith without works is dead. And I will put a hedge of protection around all that is good globally. Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines. Thank you to all the international authorities and Donald Trump. Like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day.